All right, good afternoon and welcome to The Buzz, the social media program on television on this lovely and auspicious Tuesday afternoon. It's the 28th of August 2018 and of course, as always, it's a pleasure to be here on the program. My name is Patience, still Patience, it hasn't changed. All right, I have my panelists with me on the show this afternoon. And we have a first timer. I should have a bell on this program, where we ring or drum or something. Anyways, yes. He is the Chief Executive Officer of King David Security Limited. So he's a security expert. And he's also a presidential aspirant under the Grassroots Development Party of Nigeria, GDPN, Mr. Davidson Ahimian. Good afternoon.
Good
Mr.
afternoon.
Ahimian.
Good afternoon.
Or like we say in my place, Ohian.
Yeah.
Also, we have, he's fast become one of our regulars on the show. He's a business and financial consultant, and he's also the chairman, board of trustees, ACT Network, a good governance advocacy group, Mr. Shegun Shokwiton. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
Thank you for joining us.
Viewers.
All right, Chuks Nwanne of the Guardian newspapers will be joining us in a bit, but like they say, the show must go on. And remember, as a viewer, you can also interact and contribute to the program using the number 0802 8368971, SMS only. All right, gentlemen, let's get the show on the road. Our first topic today, Trump allegedly refers to Buhari as lifeless. There are allegations that United States President Donald Trump called his Nigerian counterpart, Muhammadu Buhari, lifeless after their April meeting, as claimed by global business newspaper Financial Times in a recent publication. The paper added that Trump warned his aides that he never wanted to meet someone so lifeless again. Well, Nigerians have taken to social media to express diverse opinions about the statement. And according to Onojiri Olusegun at Onojiri Oluse 2, he said, and I quote, "No matter the political differences we share or the dislike we share about the present government's performance, the president symbolizes us as a people. Clapping for Donald Trump, describing the president as lifeless, shows us as the most lifeless people." Meanwhile, the Buhari Media Organization has described America's Donald Trump's remarks on the president as disrespectful. President Donald Trump's hate speech notwithstanding, the organization said that the president, that's President Buhari, is fit and capable to run for the 2019 elections and oversee the affairs of the country for 4 more years. And that's like, my own version of their script. It's a very longish script, but we can't take everything. But then we all get the gist, don't we, gentlemen? Let's start with you, Mr. Ahimian. Donald Trump, the American president, his rants, his tantrums, we are all used to that, and how over time he's tried to demean or bring down national leaders. So this time, I think he's the Nigerian president, he's hitting on and all of that. But then describing our dear president as lifeless. You also, as a presidential aspirant, how do you react to that statement by Trump?
Well, I think it's very unfortunate, but coming from a personality like Trump, it's not surprising because, we have a record sayings from Trump of trying to demean and denigrate world leaders, especially in the third world. I think it's unfortunate. It's not a speech that should come from a president of a developed country like the United States of America, because there needs to be some form of decorum when you describe leaders. And for us as Nigerians, we should take this as a slight and a slap on our face. Because no matter our political differences, our president, commander-in-chief still symbolizes the Nigerian state, so to speak. And it's a representation of the state out there in the international community.
A reflection of us as a people.
That's it. So I think we should rally around. And there should be a strong response from our foreign ministry against if it is confirmed that President Trump actually said this, I think the foreign ministry should respond in very concrete and strong terms, condemning President Trump's speech, and then we as Nigerians should rally around our president and stand by him in these times. It's a very sad thing that it should be coming from the President of the United States of America. We condemn it in all totality.
Okay, let me come to you, Mr. Shokweto, now, and let's leave sentiment aside, yeah? For a while now, you know, the state of health of President Buhari has not been a secret. People, tabloids world over have reported as to, you know, how unhealthy, so to say, he is. Do you think that is perhaps the angle the American president is actually coming from? Do you think he's talking about his state of health as against, you know, his well-being as a presidential personality? Do you understand what I mean?
I understand what you mean. I think the first thing that has to be said is it's conjecture. So I mean, if you go back to where this came from, it came from a Financial Times article.
A business newspaper. Yeah,
it's a very credible newspaper, but they were quoting his associates as having said after the meeting, this is what he said. So it could be true. You know, it probably is true. Knowing Trump for who he is, as my colleague has said, it's probably true. But I just want us to remember that this is conjecture. Now, what that means is that the response of Nigeria as a nation has to be measured until it's confirmed that he actually said it. And I can guarantee you, we will never confirm this. We will never confirm it. He's going to deny it. It's probably something he just said in the hallway after the meeting, and somebody picked it up, and you know, we're talking about it today. So for me, it's neither here nor there. Yeah, you have a point. Maybe he's saying this perhaps because of President Buhari's personality and his mien. You know, he's not the most dramatic person when he's talking.
Not the most boisterous.
He's not the most boisterous.
Yes,
he's always very measured, you know,
calm.
in the way, and calm
Too calm,
in the way he
maybe.
talks. So maybe even too calm. Some might attribute that to his age or whatever, but I find it amusing that a 72-year-old president is calling a 75-year-old president lifeless. I mean, are you for real? But like we said,
are you kidding me? Like the Americans would say, you know,
But like we said, we all know President Trump for his many theatrics, and you know, it's a bit unfortunate that a country that for now remains the leader of the free world should be led by a man that can be so careless with his utterances. It's really unfortunate. We mustn't forget that recently one of our fellow citizens, Omarosa, was called a dog by this same president.
Even
Trump,
his running mate at that time, Hillary Clinton, was called names.
It's very unfortunate, but I don't think we should make too much of this. It's in the realm of conjecture. You know, he has his right to his opinion. I wouldn't go as far as calling it hate speech. You know,
really?
The man is no, I wouldn't go that far. I think the man is just being himself, and we should allow him his theatrics.
His tantrums. Yeah. Okay, I really want to hear what Chooks has to say about this issue. He's in the studio already, so we're going to take a very quick break to allow him get seated. Then we'll come back. Stay with us.
Nothing beats expression from creativity. Craft that speaks volume. An artist and his work. Galaxy Television, in conjunction with the National Museum of Unity, Ibadan, presents Arts and Craft Exhibition 2018. If you're mastering any form of art like drawing, paintings, ceramics, photography, textiles, sculptures, jewelry, and lots more from Lagos, Akure, Ibadan, and other parts of Nigeria and beyond, register now by sending your profile with an attachment of soft copies of your work to email gtvartandcraft@gmail.com. Art connoisseurs, lovers, and collectors are also invited. Registration 5,000 naira per participant. For more information, call 0701 564 3793 between 9 a.m. and
welcome back. You're still watching The Buzz, the social media program on TV, and we're still looking at Trump's allegedly referring to the Nigerian president, Muhammadu Buhari, as lifeless. All right, Chuks Nwane of the Guardian newspapers has just stepped into the studio. Good afternoon, Chuks.
Good afternoon, Patience.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right, before we come to you, Chuks, Bankole from Oyo State is reacting already, and he says, factually, Trump lacks sense of oration. He is rude, he is non-intelligent, and you can recall his utterances during his electioneering. Okay, we hear you. Chuks, you know, what I find surprising about this whole, I'm still going to say allegation, because that's what it is the time difference. He had the meeting with President Buhari in April, if we recall correctly. And I remember feelers coming from that meeting, you know, pointed to the fact that he indeed congratulated President Buhari on his fight, insurgency and insecurity and blah, blah, blah. And then months down the line, we're hearing that in actual fact, after the meeting, he told his aides, you know, I never want to talk to a lifeless person like that ever again. When you heard the news, how did you feel, Chuks?
Okay, how do I even start addressing Trump? Really, how do you address a Trump? When someone speaks, the first thing that comes to mind is, what's this person's antecedents? So if I'm going from his antecedents, really there's nothing to, what has he not said about anybody? That's by the way. Then to address the point that the economist that raised the article, what have we not said about our president?
Ourselves.
Yeah. What have we not really said about our president? That's the question. What have we not said about our president? Because, you know, sometimes you throw up these things, at the end of the day, it gets back to you. This is a president that someone who is breathing, who is alive, said the president is dead. And there's one Jibrin from Sudan, who is the one impersonating Mr. President. He's the one ruling Nigeria. You read these things online. So what have we not really said? This is a president that we've seen people produce posters for his burial. Yes, we have seen posters of President Muhammadu Buhari transition. What have we not said about our leader? It tells you about the people. The way you address yourself is the way people address you. That's talking to Nigerians now. We need to be very careful how we throw up these things. Because really, the danger of social media is that some people put up what they are not sure about, and nobody asks questions, and you just drop it and we share it. Nobody takes responsibility. So that's the angle I want to take it. Then coming to the context, I'm not sure if President Trump said it. It's not confirmed, like you said. But knowing who Trump is and knowing who Buhari is, President Buhari is a very conservative man. He chooses his words, he drops them one by, and he's not the guy that you want to interview. Really, for a journalist, you don't want to interview Buhari because he says it, and when you are pulling him to say more, he stays like that. It's his nature not to talk too much. He does more of action in his early days when he was still very... He will just do what he wants to do. The idea of... not everybody has the gift of speaking. It's about gift. And then again, if somebody says... Let me even ask you, when you say, oh, this guy is lively, what do you mean?
full of life, maybe feisty, like a Donald Trump.
Like Trump.
You know.
When you say this guy,
Yes.
when you say this
In
guy
abundance.
is not lively, does it mean the guy is dead?
No.
So I think it's a context thing, and people are interpreting it based on what we have in our heads about this same president. So maybe it's
I
about
get what
looking
you
for
mean.
the opportunity to hit at the president. And at the end of the day, it's like somebody, you cock gun and you put it on your leg and you shoot yourself. Because that's exactly what we're doing.
Wow. That's a very in-depth way, you know, really to look at this allegation that's out there. But then, Mr. Akime, you are saying we should take a more deliberate approach to this and really pursue this to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
yeah. What I'm saying is, if this is confirmed officially, we shouldn't take it lying low. As a government, we should respond and respond appropriately. We are a sovereign nation, and our leader cannot be abused the way it is alleged that he has been insulted. That's an insult for a man who is still living, who is still leading a nation of over 200 million people, so to speak. The most populous black nation in the world. And you refer to the leader of such a people as lifeless. Like I said again, if this is confirmed, government must take an official position.
Okay, Mr. Shopito.
You
I
know,
mean, he called us a shithole country. Nobody did
That's
anything
what
about
has he
it.
not
you know,
said?
so-
That's the point.
Exactly. It's not
What has
only-
Trump not said?
As we speak now, it's official that his lawyer and his campaign manager are convicts, and some of the things that they committed, will come back to him. It's a matter of time. So this guy is already fighting a battle for his own career and his life anyway. I think he should focus on those battles and see
And
how
just leave
he's
us
going to-
alone.
and leave Africa. It's
As
not just
it were.
Nigeria, yeah, to leave
Leave us
Africa
alone.
and the developing
Okay.
world alone and stop taking pot shots at us.
All right, let's look at the feedback from viewers again. Chief Osho from Ikpesi Akoko in Ondo State. I hope I pronounced that right. He said Trump should be impeached for calling a fellow president lifeless. Impeach. All right, Trump's comment is treasonable to Nigerian government. Dahiru from Nasarawa State sent that one in. All right, this other one says, please, Nigerians love themselves. Trump should be advised to face the problems of his own country, if he really said it. This one says, President Buhari should have replied, you don't expose a man in the marketplace and dress him in the bedroom. After all, so-called speech was not credited to Americans. Usifo sent that one in. Good afternoon. We all know who Trump is by his words. Even late Senator McCain said he should not attend his burial. Please, I don't mind. I don't mind a security job. You have to throw that one in. All right, the security expert is here. All right. His name is Alex from Jos. And he actually said it's for the man in white. So, I mean, I'm not wrong, so. All right, this one says Donald Trump is rude and ill-mannered for a president. He's been trying to demean and crumble